say this. I told my colleagues probably about last June, in 204, I said, 204 is going to be a good year for my side. And it's going to be a very good year for my side because the issues are on our side. And I think your side made a lot of mistakes. I think that the decision to put the gay rights referendum on the ballot was one of the best things you did for us, because you certainly handed us a lot of opportunities with the good candidates that our side recruited. Well, I want to tell you, I'm prepared to make that same prediction now. We are in next election going to have a banner year. Now, some of this is because of issues that aren't local. Certainly, the misadventures of the White House in Iraq are certainly going to play a major role, and certainly the machinations of the White House in the Attorney General's office is going to play a major role. But I want to say also that the conduct here, as it occurred last time in the 204 election, is also going to play a very significant role in helping my side win a substantial majority. Last year, the governor, legislature cut a deal, and now it's been reneged. What we have seen is a reversal of that and the failure to fund the school choice the way it was agreed to by the majority on your side. You're putting us in a very difficult situation, but I can tell you this, that I am comfortable and I am confident that next year we are going to have the chance to make the changes and impose the remedies that I don't think your side is going to particularly like. You are blowing your chance to work out a reasonable compromise on school choice funding now, and I think you are making a great mistake.
The gentleman from the 12th.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to take the privilege of introducing to you my first grandson, Noah Barry Kessler, and his mother, who's standing outside, my daughter, who's from Atlanta, Georgia, and they're up for the day. Thank you. What we have seen is a shipment of jobs from the United States over to the Pacific Rim. Some of you know that my daughter's a clothing designer in New York, and I certainly know that many of the factories that she has to visit on behalf of her employer are in Hong Kong and Shanghai and in Taiwan. This is a shell game in my mind. It's a shell game. I appreciate municipalities would like to have it because there were some federal accounting rules that have been changed that reputedly required us to redefine how we do some of the accounting practices. But we are doing it risking the money that we've been holding in trust for taxpayers. And we may end up losing that money in a down economic cycle. Mr. Speaker, the issue that we have in this bill was articulated several minutes ago by some of my colleagues. I think what concerns most of us on this side of the aisle is that we see this whole bill, particularly those portions that deal with the removal of the right to collective bargaining for state employees, as a deprivation of rights. I know that in the last amendment, some of those rights were addressed, the right to strike, but there are a whole series of other rights that were taken away, and I think it concerns many of us. Many of you know that I came here to this assembly 50 years ago as a young freshman, And I've served here. This would be actually 5 terms my first time around, and this is my 4th term, my 2nd time around. During that time period, I've seen a lot of things, and I've served with many different members of the legislature. I've served with probably almost all the governors, and those governors, like Tommy Thompson, who I didn't serve with, were friends of mine because they were law school classmates, and so I knew Tommy fairly well from the years we went at the University of Wisconsin Law School. I knew Tony Earl and served with him. I was appointed a judge years ago by Pat Lucy, and I've had the opportunity to work with almost every governor, Lee Dreyfus, you name it. I've had occasions to work with them all. And what I'm seeing here is something I have never seen before. And this is one of the reasons why I think we need to refer this bill and have further hearings and further examinations on this. I've never seen a governor propose a bill without giving the public the opportunity in an election to understand what was coming.
Probably education is one of the major issues. But believe it or not, because of the fact that I send out a lot of newsletters, redistricting is talked about as I go door to door. 40 years ago, I and Leon Todd, who was on the school board, came up with the idea of the immersion schools. And so the immersion schools, I think, are among the best schools in the nation. I am very proud of what I've been doing, and I'm the voting rights expert in the legislature, I think, and certainly among the Democrats.
Gentleman from the 12th.
Mr. Speaker, this will probably be my last speech since I served here for 25 years. When I came here at first, there was comedy between parties. People treated everybody decently. In fact, the very first session, every single bill that was introduced was voted on. I guess I'm sad. I'm sad that I'm leaving because I've enjoyed the opportunity to speak for my constituents. I've enjoyed the opportunity to change a lot of things that and pass legislation that was significant. But it's terribly depressing to be here today and see how people on your side vote without reading the bills, vote without knowing what the bills are, vote without hearing the public, and now are looking at 5:40 in the morning after a almost 18-hour day considering legislation that is as drastic as this. I urge my colleagues to vote no.